One. Holy cow, we're back! It's a miracle. Welcome to RideMSTA podcast, everybody. I am Rob. I am here with Scott Finn, one of our members from Wisconsin, who is an evil genius, and we love him to death. Say hi, Scott.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me, Rob. I guess we're going to do this a little more often, right?
Yeah, it's the plan.
All right.
Last year it kind of became a little bit of a dumpster fire. I know a lot of the people I talked to through MSTA, they knew we went through a battle with cancer last year with my wife. So everything is good so far. All the checkouts have been positive. But kind of ate up my year last year a lot. And but we're on the mend. Everything is good. We're back in a good place. I'm not spiraling and stressing. And she smacked me in the head and said, "Hey, get your podcast going again, dude."
Yeah. All right.
So, what are we talking about today? We've got some, well, going back to the fact that Scott is a devious little man. He is the rally master for Bonsai Rally, which I'm pretty sure was the last episode we did, was the recap on that. And it is back for 26, so he's going to give us a few details, not too much, because you don't want to spoil his devious surprises. And then we're going to talk a few other rallies and a little bit of 2026 and what we got planned for MSTA and our resolutions for the year. And whatever other random stuff happens to pop it in our heads, because that's just us. So, Bonsai Rally 2026.
Yes. It's on May 24th here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I think we're going to run it out of the same place we had it last year. There's a bar, the Mirage Bar, and it's got a nice back room, so we'll run it out of there. They have good food, barbecue, of course, and it's all good stuff. I've got the rally, I would say, about half planned, and I think it's going to be a blast. I've got a couple of bonuses that I think are quasi interesting. There's going to be Mr. Twister and Sister Twister and Brother Twister, and there's going to be Mr. Brother Sister Twister bonuses. So they are interesting bonuses, not only in terms of where they take you, but in terms of how they're structured. So I think some people get a real kick out of it.
So, just to clarify for everybody from my end, read the sheets carefully.
Yes, right. I mean, like, I'm actually putting some constraints in there, like you can't get this one until you get this one, that kind of thing. So it's going to be
oh, that's evil.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
but you know what? Just remember this: there's a bit of a fine line between evil and fun. So there's that. I don't know. I opened registration yesterday. It's $60 for a single rider, $90 for two up, and if you've never ridden a rally before, it's $20, and that $20 is basically just to cover at least some of our costs for putting together the rally. You get a T-shirt, you get a hat until they run out, swag bag, a couple of other things I've got dreamed up. You get dinner, breakfast, and last year one of the major mistakes I made was I forgot to bring coffee the morning of the rally, and that's not going to happen again. So I will definitely make that go. I also put a little bit of a special provision in the registration this year, where if you register before the end of February, on or before February 28th, I will match your rally fees out of my own pocket, personal money, to a food pantry in La Crosse, the Wafer Food Pantry.
Oh, that's
so. So if you register for $60, I'm gonna give $60 to the pantry. So, if you want to take advantage of that, and have a really fine day planned on this 2-degree day here, you got something to look forward to for the next 4 months. go ahead and register, and you get a little you helping a little bit with the food pantry. So go ahead and make that happen. But I'm looking forward to a wonderful rally. I've been doing, believe it or not, I've already been out in the street doing rain dances to make sure it's not going to rain. So anti-rain dances, I guess, would be the right thing.
Hey,
But
it
it's going to
worked
be
last year. It was
it
gorgeous.
worked. I mean, it was like 75 and sunny the entire day. It was a perfect day. I was so jealous because I'm like, I want to be out riding, but it didn't work that way.
You see, the one thing he's forgetting here is that he had to pre-ride all these things, so
I
he got to
did. That
ride
was
it
a lot of fun. I
anyway.
got to ride to every bonus, which was really fun. But no, I learned a lot putting together the rally last year, and I hope that this year there'll be a little bit more clarity on a couple of things, and that experience will be reflected. So it's going to be a fun time.
Well, to anybody that might be interested in attending, definitely check it out. If you've never done one of these rallies before, a 10-hour rally like this is the perfect kickoff. It gives you a very solid taste of what would happen in one of the bigger long distance rallies without the commitment of a 24, 48 or longer time period. And you learn how everything flows, how to work the bonuses. And uh, I'll
Well,
be
and
honest.
to be clear, I mean, just what, Rob, we didn't do. We're assuming everybody knows what a rally like this, how it's structured, and so the best way to think of it is it's kind of the UPS problem. You've got a whole bunch of bonus locations. You've got a time limit. In this case, like Rob is saying, it's 10 hours, and there's no possible way to get to all of them in 10 minutes, or I mean in 10 hours. And each of those locations has a point value. So the trick is to route your ride so that you get as many points as you possibly can in the time allowed, recognizing you're not going to get all of them, but figuring out the best ones to get and get back to the barn in time. Because if you're late, it's all over.
Yep.
Doesn't count. So that's kind of what this is. And what Rob is saying, I think, is that this 10-hour rally is a nice entry point to a rally like that if it sounds interesting. There's much longer ones. There's 24-hour, 48. There's 11-day rallies. There's 6-day rallies. So I mean, there's a lot. So, but it really is a fun time, and there's a kind of a community of people who do these things, and they're all amazing.
Oh
So
yeah.
so there's that. So
Yeah. Actually, I found the long distance community through the sport touring community, and I'll be honest, man. These are some of my favorite people ever. Between the sport touring
mm,
people and the long distance community, you will not find some more genuine, loving, awesome individuals.
they'll
You
bend
know,
over backwards to help you. I mean, it's the most amazing
100%.
thing I've ever seen. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So.
it is by far the most fun you can have on two wheels. And I'm a former track guy, and I love doing these rallies because it takes, like he said, you got to go to these bonus locations, but part of that isn't just getting the points for the location. There's these things called combo bonuses that are listed in there. So you have to hit a certain combo of these bonus locations to get the combo bonus. And all of that plays together. So it's like this weird puzzle of riding and time management and logistics management and routing, and it it hits all of my nerd triggers, and it's the best thing ever.
Mm. That's the thing. It does hit a bunch of nerd triggers, and reading comprehension is also a thing because you have to do what it says to do, and
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get the points. For example, there was
So
a rider last year in this rally, and it still pains me to this day, but I had to deny a bonus, and that bonus is part of a combo, and had he gotten that combo, he would have won the rally, and he didn't get
um,
the cacao. So that was just that still haunts me, to be honest with you. But
I distinctly remember me losing not only a regular bonus but a combo bonus because
hmm
I decided to stick my head in some udders instead of a little
uh-huh,
wood cutout of the udders.
exactly, right.
That
I've still
hurt.
got that pictures of you under the udders, but at any rate, I'll use that when it's convenient, Rob. But at any
Oh
rate,
yeah. Yep. That was. I mean, And the one thing I will say is at least it was good for a laugh.
It was good for a laugh. It's all good. So,
So yeah,
so anyway,
hit up Bonsai.
I don't know, Rob. Can you post a link in the show notes? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I can add them to the show notes.
Okay, great,
I'll do that after the show. And then
great.
I don't know if you've posted it up on MSTA's Facebook page yet, but absolutely.
Can I? Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Hey, you're one of us. It's an event you're hosting.
All right, go for it. I will.
Yeah.
The only thing I wanted to make sure of, which is probably a little bit of a segue here, is that it is close to Twistar. So and in timing. So I didn't want to. I didn't. I wasn't. I had some misgivings about just throwing it on the MSTA site because this event is not. My event is not MSTA sanctioned. But it's only, I think, what is it, 2 weeks from Twistar?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks.
So,
but it's
at any rate,
the people that are going to come to Twister are still going to come to Twister.
But okay, well, as long as you don't have a problem with it, I'll throw it out there.
I want to see more people go to it. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping I can make it this year, but with the changes we made for Twister, I might get. And I have a committee working with me this year, a couple of really great guys. So I do have help, but we're doing, I guess, segue into Twister. We are our committee is voting on some changes this year that might change the structure of how we do Twister's rally. And if we do, it might require a little more pre-planning on our part, and that depending on what it does outside, and when we finally get some decent riding weather. That's going to depend on if I can make it to Bonsai, and I really want to make it to Bonsai.
You know what, Rob? This is probably going to sound like it's sacrilege, okay? But one of the things I learned from other rally masters is that you can actually get in a car in the winter and set your bonus location, set your GPS route. And I know it's sacrilege. However, I know, but you're thinking about motorcycles the entire time you're on four wheels. So how would a motorcycle do this? Gosh, I wish I had my motorcycle. What a great road, and you can get all that set up now. So you can come to Bonsai. So that's that's just something you might consider. You
make a valid,
you Rob.
You make a valid point, and
I know it's sacrilege. I get it. I understand completely. But then you see what you can do. Here's my plan. I'm going to have my bonuses all locked in, and then I'm going to write them.
Nice.
So, you don't have to you just have to confirm them. Oh, yep, still there. Still has that. Yep. Good for that. So it won't take nearly as long, but I can do all the other ugly stuff, like getting the GPX files and everything else put together before I do that ride. I still get to ride them. So I'm just saying do the hard part in a car.
So I might actually do that once it's, because some of the roads I'm going to be on with the way they are right now, I don't even want to take my car down them if I don't have to.
Yeah, I get it.
Once they start...
that tells you something about those roads.
Yeah. They're great when they're dry.
I know, right?
Not so much when you're looking at a fall off and going, I'm on ice.
Right. Well, and in the winter you play that game. So where's the road?
We have roads?
Yeah, right.
Oh man, that's a miracle. I just aimed down the flattish area
exactly.
And okay, we're going.
I always just hope for tail lights. I can just follow.
Well, if I tried that, about half the time I'd be going, wait, headlight, tail light, headlight. Ooh, that's not the direction.
That's exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had a few of them.
All right, so I'm coming to Twistar, Rob. So I told you already. I'll if you need group leaders, I'll happily lead a slow group.
Yeah, your slow group might just be
not a track guy. Not a track guy. And I've got a car tire in the back of my FJR, which I get teased incessantly about from Rob and his friends, but that's okay. I still like them. So I think they still like me.
Oh, 100%.
My last tire lasted 35,000 miles, so there's that. Anyway.
Well, to be fair, though, the majority of your riding
I know.
is
Straight up.
is long distance riding.
Yeah,
So
straight up. It's true.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
true.
and I will also say this: when we were zipping through Wildcat Mountain and some of those twisty roads through the Driftless,
Hmm.
Mr. Cartayer here was not exactly hanging back and having trouble. He
Yeah,
was
I
doing
mean,
just fine.
I haven't really noticed it, to be honest with you. It hasn't really been a thing I've ever been all that concerned about. So anyway, that's probably a whole podcast, but I have to do a little bit of research on that because the physics are actually pretty interesting about how the car tire actually works.
Yeah,
But I bring diagrams and everything else, but maybe we'll do that sometime. But it's be an interesting conversation.
I like that idea actually. I,
Yeah.
I I've gone back and forth. I tried the car tire thing when I was doing a lot of long distance riding
Hmm.
because the tires that I typically run, I'll chew them up in 6,000 to 7,000 miles if I'm taking it easy. Like the
Right.
pilot roads and things like that.
Right. And those
However,
motorcycle tires are getting more and more expensive anyway.
I will say this: I've never been a Dunlop fan, but
Yep.
I put a brand new set of the Dunlop Trail Max missions on my GS
Hmm.
per some recommendations after I got it. It's like, it's a Dunlop. Those things actually have been fairly impressive. I've got probably 14,000 miles on those tires right now. There's an
Really?
easy
Front and
5,000
rear?
front and rear wearing evenly.
Wow. That is
And
crazy.
I got probably another 5 or 6,000 miles left in them.
Wow.
I'm
That's
nowhere
pretty
near wear
amazing.
bars. I mean,
That's pretty amazing.
and you've seen, like, I ride a lot two up with my daughter, so it's not like I'm
Hmm.
unladen, and I'm not exactly nice on the throttle. And
Great.
and I
That's really cool actually.
there's a
And and
vague
those
feeling.
tires are like I got a Pilot Road 6 and I think the last tire cost me $250 and that was the
Yeah,
cheapest one I could find. Anyway, so your Dunlop experience is good.
yeah, and I will say they're a little vague feeling, but
Okay.
you get used to it fairly quick. So like especially on the turn in a corner, you
Hmm.
don't have that immediate feedback you do from like the pilot roads.
Sounds like the car tire.
Yeah, probably pretty
Seriously,
close.
seriously, it does. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed is that with regular motorcycle tires and my FJR, I can just flick it and it goes right into the corner and away, and it just hangs there. Car tire, you got to keep working at it.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't just hang there. You got to work at it.
with the Trail Max missions, I was nervous about them. I didn't trust them for a while, but after I had about 1,000 miles or so on them, and I really got to feel them out, I've had that thing down on its peg in a corner. And if you've
Have
ever
you?
seen a BMW GS, you're leaned over if you're doing
That's
that.
high. If you're on a peg on the GS, I've had my FJR and it's pegs too on both sides and
Yeah.
never felt uncomfortable. So anyway, yeah, maybe we'll have a car tire show sometime and get somebody smarter than me on here to talk about it.
So your alter ego?
I'm sorry.
We'll have
Yeah,
your
my
alter
alter ego.
ego.
Listen to that. Yeah, I'll bring my other personality. Anyway,
So, since we're talking about rallies, um, going back to Twister, there are most likely going to be some. Well, there's definitely going to be some changes to it this year because we had a few things last year that I wasn't happy with, and I think we figured out a way to alleviate those this year. But there's also going to be a potential change to the way we do the routes that I think everybody's going to have a lot of fun with, and you're going to see some cool stuff, and it's we're gonna have a little fun because I think the rally formula needs to just a little shake up. I'm actually looking to adopt. If anybody's gone to Fly by Week with Norm, some of the stuff that he does from that is very similar to what I want to do for Twister. So that's the plan, and I know there's already a bunch of people that are hitting me saying it's coming up. We've got a couple more planning meetings. I'll get all the links out for pre-registration, everything like that, in about the next month or so. But Spring Green Round Barn Lodge had everything set up for our block last year before we even left. So if you call Spring Green and Round Barn Lodge, tell them that you're looking to book a room for the block for Twister for MSTA. They got you covered. So at least we got that part. But going back to the long distance rallies, you entered in another one, Mr.
Yeah,
McCall.
this I entered the LDX rally, which is run by the rally master is Paul Tong, who did the Iron Butt rally last year, and it's already. And I've done just a tiny bit of research on some of Paul's rallies. I don't know him. I've never met him. Just kind of read a little bit about his rallies, and he's insanely creative with what he does. So I'm looking really forward to getting that challenge from him. And he's already been a little bit creative. Most of these longer rallies, this is a 6-day rally, and most of them, they'll have a start hotel and a stop hotel. This one doesn't have a start hotel. He basically said the start location will be within 30 miles of this place somewhere in Kansas. I don't remember the name. And on the morning of the rally, I will tell you where to go, and you've got an hour to get there.
Hold up. That's new.
Yeah. So, I just thought, yeah, that's creative.
That is. Wow.
I know. So I thought, okay, so if that's the warm up, what's the rest of it going to look like?
And I've followed Paul Tong's rallies for the last few
I
years.
haven't. I know he's done them for a long time, right? He's a very experienced, very creative.
He always does a really good theming on every one of his rallies, and
Mhm.
every one is unique. But this is definitely the kind of evil thing that he would do too. Oh man, I cannot wait to see how LDX plays out this year. That's going to be a ride.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fascinating. And I'm also signed up for the North Star Rally by Team Strange, which is the weekend after Twist Stars. So I get like a month of motorcycle events. So I'm pretty happy about that.
I'm jealous. I wanted to do that North Star rally, but a week after Twister, A, I'm going to be burned out, and B, it's Dan's 60th birthday. So I can't leave my bestie hanging.
Your friends are more important than a rally, but you should just get Dan to join you and just ride as a team.
I am trying to talk him into doing bonsai with me, just to try it.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose. It's a
And
nice
he'll be
day riding, and he knows those roads like the back of his hand, so he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'll con him into it eventually. He's retiring this year, and he's gonna be bored. So
okay, yeah, keep him busy.
Yeah,
keep him busy.
Going back to LDX though.
Yep.
One thing if this is the stuff he's doing for LDX, for those that don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody in the community is at least familiar with the Iron Butt Rally. Iron Butt Rally last year almost didn't happen because there was a pretty big shakeup with the Iron Butt Association staff and some insurance issues, and nobody could figure out how to fix it. And let's be honest, they have been running that rally for so long, they're tired. I know Lisa Landry and Jeff Earls, that was supposed to be their last rally. And with all the insurance stuff. But Mr. Paul Tong came in clutch at the last minute and figured stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some changes that everybody was a little nervous about until they were actually seen. Oh my God, it was a cool rally. And if this is the devious stuff he's going to do for LDX, I can't wait to see what he does for the Iron Butt Rally next year.
No, I looked at the LDX rally from 2024, and it honestly, took me a day to sink in what he was actually saying to do. It was really crazy because what he had was like it was like a battle, Earth versus aliens or something like that.
Yeah.
And so what you had to do though is there were like big high point bonuses, and then there were little bonuses, and the big high point bonuses were the attacks, but you couldn't attack until you had enough troops. And so what you had to do was collect the small bonuses until you had enough points to grab the big one.
Yep.
which was like, I thought that's a whole different twist on this whole thing, because now you have to build up your attack forces before you can go after the really big bonuses. So you can't just ride to these really big bonuses. You got to get a bunch of little ones before you can even entertain getting the big one, which is, I thought, and the rally flag, we usually have some kind of a flag or a T-shirt or something like that to display. It was an ammo can.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, man, that would upset my apple cart. Wouldn't have
Yep.
anywhere to put it, but you got to figure it out. So, I mean, it was it was pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. I think it's going to be a blast.
Well, and for like Iron Butt Rally last year, and now keep in mind that normally takes 2 years to put together. Plus, because well before they even host this, the rally they're working on, they've started working on the next one too. It is a huge undertaking, and this man put this stuff together in like 8 months. It was amazing. And what the cool thing he did with last year's Iron Butt was he, instead of having just a big packet of bonus locations, he went back to legacy Iron Butt winners and used their routes. Like you can do,
It's
a Wendy
true.
Crockett route or a Jeff Earls route or a Mike Kneebone route, and there were options for out and back, so you were coming out and then coming back to the checkpoints, or a full 11-day turn where you went out and stayed out all 11 days, and it all focused on following the path of a former Iron Butt winner.
That
It
was a cool
was
rally.
it was and watching these people follow these legacy tracks that I have followed through the years was so cool. Yeah, it was amazing, and I can guarantee you, next year the 2027 Iron Butt Rally is going to be something to behold.
Well, and the other cool thing that he does is that he has an app for scoring.
Yep.
So you're not keeping track of it on paper or anything like that. You got an app, and you kind of know right away whether you got the bonus. I mean, it makes scoring. It used to be scoring is so arduous, and like even with bonsai, it's arduous because there's still going to be a number of bonuses, and you have to go through and check them all. With Paul's app, all that's done in advance,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
it
That.
takes almost nothing to. I mean, it takes the app does the bulk of the work in terms of calculating everything, and I just think that's so smart. So,
Yeah.
and
That
he even built
was.
the app, so I mean that's just he's an amazing guy.
And the funny part is, he never ever built anything like that. He literally
Yeah,
learned
right.
to do it just to build that
Hmm.
app.
That's right.
And now I know he's had it tweaked and worked on and things over the years, but
Yeah.
yeah, that took a lot of the heavy lifting off the staff, and it made it so much easier for them. And
Hmm.
it's not just a throw it in the app and send it off to the ether. Like you get an immediate confirmation back that it's all uploaded, everything's good,
Right.
and it gives you a receipt that shows you what it saw on the server end.
Hmm.
So you know right
That's it's
away.
right. So he's got it worked out. I'm hoping that on some level it may translate to allowing more people into the Iron Butt Rally, because that was one of the my understanding. And you probably know more about this than I do, Rob, but my understanding is that some of the constraint on the number of participants was built on you don't there's just there's not enough scorers, there's not enough people just to sit down with these rally books and score all these big bonuses, so they had to limit it.
Oh, they
The other
were
thing, yeah, go ahead. I have an idea, but go right ahead.
they were in legacy Iron Butt rallies when you're talking 100 to 125 riders, they were averaging something like 6 to 8 hours to do scoring after everybody got back, as everybody was
Right.
getting back in. So yeah, and this has cut it down to basically instant. So you just
Yeah,
show up.
minutes.
Yeah, you show up, check
Went from
in.
hours to an hour.
Yeah, because the only thing that they've got to do is if you can test something, which you can do
Mhm.
through the app too. But if you can test something, you can talk to the scoring judge about it. But that's literally it. That's like they set up a time for you to talk to them, and they're done in like maybe an hour or two.
Yeah, and
the
there's
final
rules
score.
about how long you have to contest it too. So I mean,
Right.
it's just all fascinating. And the other thing I'm wondering about is that my understanding, again, pure speculation here, is that another reason they limited participation was because there's only so many motorcycles and motorcyclists you can throw into a hotel parking lot.
They need a bigger
You know, you
parking lot.
can't. Right. I mean, well, but like if you've got 100 people coming with 100 motorcycles, you can't get 200. You're not going to find a hotel that can accommodate that.
Yeah.
However, so this is what I'm kind of wondering about LDX, is if this is a practice for what he might do with the Iron Butt rally, because
Oh.
then you don't need one hotel. You can have people get to a spot, like an arena or something like that. I mean, not an arena, but something, a bigger space with a big parking lot. Around here we'd call that an ice rink, and
Yep.
and just big parking lot, park all the bikes. You go in, you get your stuff, you leave. So there's not one place, but I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part, but I'm hopeful for it because I'm hoping that it would potentially open up more spots in the Iron Butt Rally. We'll
That
see.
actually that would make a lot of sense.
We'll see.
And I would
I don't
like to
know.
see it because
That's a guess.
I got a couple more Iron Butt rallies before I'll be able to go do one, but I
Yep.
will do one. And that's
Yeah. One of the things too, I know you and I have talked about this, but just building out the rally bike, right?
right.
That has been a fun but ridiculously expensive proposition.
I mean,
Nothing's cheap.
no. No, it's
It's
not.
just all really expensive, and it just adds up. I mean, I've done pretty well. I went ahead and bought, and I bought most of. I found an auxiliary fuel cell, which um, is already iron butt approved and everything. So I know I just have to bolt that on, but that was like $500. And then Black Friday came, and that Black Friday was a good day for me in terms of what I spent money on. I bought a spot tracker because you need that for the rally, and I bought, it's still all sitting over here in a box. I bought. I'm really curious to see how this works, but it's from a company called Innov, Innov, and
Oh,
it's
they're
a
cams.
it's a blind spot detector. So it puts a camera on your back, and then you put the little you put the indicators on the mirrors just like a car, and it tells you when a car is in your blind spot. So I'm really curious about that in terms of how that might work.
Yeah.
And but and that one wasn't terribly expensive. It was like $300. But the one that I splurged on two things. One was I have a 2008 Yamaha FJR 1300. It does not have cruise control. And so I kind of went back and forth with myself. So what do I do? Starting in 2013, the FJRs have cruise control. So I thought, okay, so I've got two options here. I can take my almost 20-year-old 2008 FJR and build it out and put a cruise control on it and do all these other things to it, or I could buy a bike, a newer one with cruise. And FJRs are great bikes, and you can pick up really nice FJRs
Yeah.
for, you know, you can get a 2015, 2016 somewhere in there, uh, right around 6 grand. I mean, they go up or down a couple, they go up mostly, but that's about probably the bottom, but they go up a little bit from there. And I thought, okay, so I could do that. And that may be the last FJR I ever buy. Um, but I just decided my bike has history. It's actually run 5 Iron Butt rallies.
Yeah.
It's never won one, but it's run one. But it's run them. I mean, I don't think it's ever run one. I don't know the whole lineage, but I thought, okay, I'm going to give this bike one more chance. I'm going to give this bike, and I'm not going to win, but I'm gonna let it run one more, just to see what that's like. So I spent the $900 on the cruise control. So that was a
That's a
chunk.
game changer.
That's a chunk, but the cruise is a game changer, is how I felt about it.
Yes.
And then the last thing I splurged on has been quite the story. I've always I since I started riding a motorcycle back in like 1997, I've wanted a road crafter, and
Ah, okay.
I've never had the money or anything else to go up to Duluth and buy one. So I started looking at used ones, and that's been a little bit of a journey. I bought one, and I thought it would fit, but I'm an optimist, and apparently I'm a little fatter than I thought,
Oh
and
no.
so I
Somebody's
paid
got
eight
to
hundred.
quit dragging you to
So
pie
so
rides.
I know, no, no. So I bought like 800. I paid like $850 for this road crafter. I got it. I put it on and said, "Oh no, this is never going to work. I can't lose enough weight for this thing to work because it was wrong in other areas too." So I currently have a 2024 Road Crafter R3 hanging in my closet that I paid $850 for that I would love to get rid of. Small plug there. But at any rate, so then, being the fool that I am, I saw another one that was
Oh.
bigger and thought, this one looks better. And I mean, mind you, these suits are approaching and over $2,000 a piece if you buy them new. And this guy had one that was specially made. I have a long torso and short legs, and his was made for that. So I said to my wife, please. And she said, great, go for it. So I did. And that one, that in 15 pounds, that one's going to fit. So, I mean, I can already get it on and zip it up, but in 15 pounds, it's going to fit.
So what I'm hearing is when I
So that's
take
going to
Scott
work.
out for rides this spring, I'm not allowed to take him to pie. I have to take him to salad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see.
that
I'm
probably do
hoping to
me some
kind of
good too.
be, I'm realistic, about how much weight I'm going to actually lose, but but the point is, losing a few pounds is going to make that suit work, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I've always wanted one of those. So at any rate, that's been my spending. So I don't know how much I've dropped. I'm afraid to count. But it's probably approaching or maybe a little bit more than 3 grand in terms for everything.
So
So it's a lot.
here's my rule on Farkles. When you look at their
Yeah.
cost, they don't count.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I tried to be smart about it because I know that someday I will want a newer FJR and or something somewhat like it. And everything that I bought will move except the cruise control. So, because that's going to be pretty specific to an older FJR. It's got the specific wiring harness and everything, which is why I bought it. So,
Yeah, and the new
it,
one
it
has it
should,
already anyway. So
exactly. So it's not going to need. So it's not going to need it. So that was the only thing I splurged on that wasn't going to be able to transfer to another bike. So that's been kind of my rule is that it's got to be able to go to a different bike, and so I've done pretty well with that. But it's been fun. And I got into a little bit of a domino thing too with heating my garage. So but soon I hope I'll have a heated garage, and then I can start putting some of this stuff on, and I'm excited.
oh
So
yeah,
it's all good.
that's my favorite time is when I'm actually putting the stuff on, and I love doing that stuff over the winter.
Yeah, the two
Speaking,
things that I don't have, I need two things I wish I had. One was a better seat, um, and the other, what's the other? Oh, better auxiliary lighting. But oh man, everybody just loves those clear waters. But holy smokes, are they money?
yeah, I will tell you this:
They're worth it,
they are
right? I mean,
worth it.
I've heard that, but whew, that's a hard one. But at any rate,
Here's where I run into an
this
issue.
winter.
If I'm prepping a bike for an iron butt rally, I would spend the money
Hmm.
on the Clearwaters because they are damn gonna be reliable.
Yep.
But I have bought some auxiliary lights off of the Jungle website
Hmm.
that have been at least 80% as good at
Yeah.
80% of the price, 80% less
Yeah.
price.
20% of the price. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So that's kind of my theory for this year. I feel like I've spent enough money on the motorcycle, and if I do the LDX rally, and if I decide I like riding that many miles for that many consecutive days, I might consider throwing my hat in for the iron butt with no guarantees that you'll even kick that in. But if I got in, that might be the point where I drop the money for something like that. So
Before you do
yeah,
LDX,
that's been my journey. Yeah.
before you do LDX, I would at least throw a set of the cheaper LED ones
Oh,
on there.
I've got them.
Yeah.
I've got the bracket. I mean, I got the brackets on and everything.
Oh, okay.
I just need to put the lights on. I've got them. I've got a big stack just sitting here in my office, and they're in the stack. So
The other thing too, talking about Farkles for long distance riding,
yeah,
I might make you spend more money after I tell you this. Maybe not this year, but before the Iron Butt Rally, I had a
yeah.
chance last year in the fall to ride a buddy's R1250 GS with the FLIR system on it.
Yeah, that's the
And
other thing. That's the other thing I'm thinking about
oh my
because
god,
because I know a guy. He's he runs he runs with an iPad Mini on his bike, and the iPad Mini hooks up to the FLIR system with Bluetooth.
yep.
And so that may be the only other thing I do because the whole thing with FLIR and, being able to potentially catch a deer before you run into it is a really big appeal to me.
Well,
So we'll just see.
we live out in the middle of nowhere,
You
and
got deer everywhere.
what we did, we switched bikes, and I was running. We're in the dead of night, like this is like 10, 11 o'clock at night because I wanted to try
Yeah.
it in the dark, and we went
Yeah.
our most rural back road routes to try it out, and you'd be like, I was catching squirrels in the ditch with that thing, and I you could see
Wow.
like, and there was a herd of deer way off in a field that was still within the
Mhm.
camera range.
Right.
I couldn't see them, and it picked them up plain as day on that screen.
So out of curiosity with something like that, does that divert your attention from watching the road, or can you basically have a pretty good idea where you're going just by watching the FLIR?
With the color contrast that it uses,
Yeah.
it's so differentiated, it catches in your peripheral. So I can be watching the road and have
Oh, I
the
see what you're
tablet down
saying.
lower, and
And you'll see something move on the FLIR, and then you can see, it.
well, it changes, like the animals will show up as a much brighter color, like a red.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
against a black backdrop, it's like, oh, there's something there. So now I'm physically looking for it.
I want one of those, but I just have to stop spending money, right? I'm
It
literally bleeding money because I thought there was a point where I'd be done, and I'm just wrong. It's
no, there isn't. And then as
never
soon as you
gonna
think
happen. It's
everything is
never gonna
perfect, you find
happen.
something you want to
Right.
change. I will
Well,
say
then
for
you
your
buy a new bike, and then you got to start all over again. But at any
yeah,
rate,
yeah.
that's where we're at.
For your seat though, is Flynn's Auto Trim
Yeah.
still up in Lacrosse?
Who?
Flynn's Auto Trim.
I don't know.
Find
Do they
out
build seats?
they're an upholsterer, and I have had them do several seats for me over the years when I lived over there.
I'll have to
They
take a
are
look at that.
awesome.
Flynn's, FLYNNS.
Yeah,
All right, thanks for the plug. I'll take a look.
yeah, they're still up
Because
there
I've
in
got
business.
because I've got two pans. I mean, I've got two seat pans. Because I tried the Yamaha comfort seat, and that was
Nah.
no joy for me. So the stock seat was actually more comfortable, which is hard to believe, based on everything you read about the stock seat on the FJR. But at any rate, I will check that out. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, there's Seth Lamb. He's all over the community too, but he's not out of
I
Lacrosse.
know. Right.
And I
But I
think
mean, it's like I said, I can handle like a couple $100, $300 that I can do, but you start getting into the Russell or the Seth Lamb, and you're looking at somewhere between $600 and $800. That's just a lot of money.
this is
But I understand your comfort is worth it. I get it, but I just have spent so much other money. I don't know if I can get it this year.
yeah, and honestly, like this is where I really miss Terry Adcox. That guy was, oh man, he made some of the best seats I have ever sat on in my life.
Hmm.
And it was you sent him your seat, so he has the seat pan to work with. You take pictures of yourself on the bike in your normal riding position, give him your height, your
Yep.
weight, all that. $250 later, he ships you back a seat that you will never want to change.
Interesting.
But
Love that.
unfortunately, he has passed on and nobody
Yep. Nobody
took
picked
the
it up.
reins.
Yep.
Seth Lamb
So
does a good
speaking of
job, though.
comfort, Rob. Speaking of comfort, Rob. I've been doing a lot of talking here.
Oh,
What's the most comfortable? What's the thing you've done to your motorcycle? Maybe one or two things you've done that have made it more comfortable.
so my current GS, believe it or
Yeah.
not much. I did change the
Really.
windscreen on it. Normally, my first go-to is immediately rip off the stock seat. I have
Okay.
rarely found a stock seat I'm happy with,
Okay.
and this bike is the first time I think I've not done that. But mine has the BMW upgraded their version of the Yamaha's comfort seat on it,
Okay.
and somehow it works. So, but I will say, contact points are always going to be the first go-to when you're
Right.
looking at comfort. Where's your butt staying? Where's your feet? You know, are your pegs too small, too big, buzzing your feet off? Grips, believe a lot of people don't look at their grips.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of comes from my track time and then getting in the mountain biking and stuff way back in the day. Grips make such an impact on how
Really.
your hands feel on the bars.
Not sure I
And
need that.
yeah, and nobody ever changes their stock grips unless they're wore out.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you ever
they make.
use like the grip puppy
Oh, I
things?
hate those things.
You hate those things?
Ugh.
Okay. Fair enough.
See, now for me, it's not so much about the diameter of the grip. That can make a
Mm-hmm.
difference for some. Obvious. This is all subjective because it's your touch
Of
points.
course, everything's subjective.
For me, it's the grip, the texture of the grip.
Okay.
Even through gloves, if you get the wrong
You can
texture,
feel it different, right?
yeah, and
Yep.
it'll wear on your hand.
Interesting. Huh. Fascinating.
So yeah, that's
So I hear stock seat grips. What have you done to your motorcycle? Anything?
the only thing I've done to the GS so far
Yeah.
is the screen. The stock
Okay.
windscreen on that thing is that
Like a
tall.
barn door?
No, it's tiny. It's
It's not
like this
tiny. Okay.
little, and they're adjustable up and down. But
Yep.
I always felt like I was getting wind buffeting from the sides really bad, or if I had it in
Okay.
a low position, it was banging my head around.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a taller and wider screen from Puig,
Yep.
and I didn't go crazy. I went about another 3 inches taller, and then it's wider, and then it's got air deflectors on the sides, so it
Mm-hmm.
pushes the wind around me, and it got rid of all the buffeting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've got a non-stock screen on mine too. I've never ridden it with the stock screen because I bought it with the it's a V stream on it, and I'm totally happy with the way the air flows around the bike. So
Yeah.
some of the things about my bike, I haven't done a lot. I haven't done a lot either. I mean, the one thing I did, speaking of grips, I put heated grips on,
Oh,
just
I love my
because
heated
I
grips.
really wanted that, and I've also got heated gloves, but I'm not, the heated grips are a lot easier just to flip on than it is switching to the gloves.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I did that made it a little bit more comfortable. Um, Honestly, that's about it because it came pretty well set up. With the exception, like I said, I've already mentioned the seat that I'm not ready to go down that road yet, and yeah, the seat. But at any rate, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, when you're doing long miles especially, the biggest things you can do are airflow management
Hmm.
because that's wind protection and it also gives you
Right,
some level of weather
some rain
protection.
protection, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then your contact points, those will make the biggest difference.
yep.
And then you get into all the other stuff and that's just convenience or
Well, and I do think that the cruise control is going to be a game changer.
yeah, it is.
I really think it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to having that.
Well,
It's
that
been one of
was
those things that I'm conflicted about, though. If you have to hold the speed, that takes a level of concentration that doesn't let your mind go anywhere other than keeping focused on that. And I'm a little concerned that with a cruise, it'll take away a little bit of that focus, but I'm not sure.
it doesn't.
Good. Glad to hear.
The
I'm
trick
glad
there
to hear
is
that.
just
I've
keep
never
your eyes
ridden a motorcycle with a cruise, so
See, I've had both over the years, and
Yeah.
I've tried the throttle locks and stuff. See, now I have an issue where I can't hold the throttle steady that long because my hand goes numb,
Hmm.
and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what bike is. I've got nerve damage in my
Right.
hand,
I got the same issue. Right.
and that cruise control, I set it and I can just let go, and I can move around and get my
Right.
wrist
And
flipped.
I've got a throttle lock. I've got an Atlas throttle lock that works pretty well, but it doesn't hold speed. I mean,
No,
it holds speed, but if you hit a hill, go up a hill, down a hill, whatever, it's over. But it is a godsend in that it gives me enough of a break that I can at least get some feeling back in my hands. So, and I know that that's a piece that I should probably explore from an ergonomics standpoint because if your hands are really going numb, like I don't know if I have anything, poor with my circulation or anything, but there's ways to adjust the bars and make some subtle adjustments that prevent that. But I just haven't taken the time to make that happen.
yeah, and there's so much aftermarket for that FJR. I'm actually looking. I went to an event last year for our MSF coaches,
Yep.
and one of our other coaches was up there. She has the identical bike to mine,
Hmm.
and she
The
had just,
GS. Yeah.
yeah, it's literally identical, other than she's got the aluminum panniers on there, and I've got the Vario ones. Same
Hmm.
bike, but she got these risers. They're adjustable
Hmm.
risers, so they
Yep.
put the bars up an inch and then back an inch, and then they can
Hmm.
tip a little bit. And I tried riding hers with those risers on there,
Yeah.
and that made a huge difference. So I think before this spring, I'm gonna order those for
Better.
mine.
Yeah, and that's usually a pretty easy ad, right?
Oh yeah, for this one it's
Unless you have to
20
replace
minutes.
brake lines and everything because they need to be a little longer, but hopefully not.
No, for this one, she did it. She didn't have to do anything other than put them in.
Great. Just to put the bars, great.
Yeah,
I know I had an ST, and I think to put the bar risers on, you had to change the brake lines, but at least some of the risers. But at any rate,
yeah, we did. I think it was the FZ1 where we had to actually extend. We were doing it for a friend of mine. We put like 2-inch bar risers on there to get them more upright,
hmm
and we had to. It came with an adapter system to extend the brake lines and stuff out, and we had to reroute everything, and
right,
it was an afternoon of a project.
yeah, right, exactly, exactly.
It worked
So,
for him. I mean, it did the
right,
job, but I know the VFRs were like that too. But that is that system that she's got. It's just an inch up and like an inch back, and it goes
that's
from
perfect.
me having a little forward lean to being completely neutral, like on a dirt
Hmm.
bike,
Right.
which essentially is what my GS is. Big damn dirt
Well, that's
bike.
more. So then you're more upright, right?
Right. And
Okay.
I mean, I ride sport bikes too, so I don't mind the lean forward position.
Right.
And
But then you put all that weight on your hands if you're, or potentially you're putting a bunch of weight on your hands, which I know you're not supposed to do, but that's how it ends up. But you're beyond that, I'm sure.
well, not only that, like with the GS, what I was noticing was with my daughter on the back, I
Hmm.
tended to lean farther in, like harder onto the bars,
Yeah,
and I
that's
would
gonna
have to,
wreck your hands every time.
yeah, and I had to keep readjusting. And when we, when I rode hers, it's like that puts me in a position where I won't have to do that. Like it's just so neutral that I won't have that issue anymore. So I don't know. We're gonna try it out and see that the parts are only like $60. So
Right. Rob, one of the things too that I'm just thinking about, we've had this really fun conversation about motorcycles the whole way, and I think we talked about this right before the show, but personally, what I have works for me, and I wouldn't necessarily want to endorse anything for anybody else, because I think your motorcycle is so subjective. What you do to make it work for you is really tailored to you.
it is.
So, I mean, the stuff that you and I are talking about, I mean, in generalities, I think that might be true for most people, but I wouldn't consider anything that I've said an endorsement for any of this stuff. It's
Same.
just, it's just, it works for me. And the only thing I can tell you is you have to spend some money and figure out what works for you and probably sell some things at less than what you paid for them just because they didn't work.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And
So,
now, in a lot of the more reputable companies, they'll have like a
right.
30-day return window or something like that
Exactly.
because they know the
Exactly.
same thing. We're all different body types. I mean, different heights,
Yeah.
different weights,
Right.
different
All of it.
conditioning. So
It's like recommending a helmet. Not a chance.
no. You know what my helmet recommendations are when somebody asks that question?
Go to a store.
Go to a reputable place, buy a
Right.
known brand, and find one
Right.
that fits.
Right. Find
That's
somebody to help you fit it. Right. To
yeah.
help you get the right one.
Well, and it's like my head is not an Arai head at all, and everybody around they all swear by oh, you need an Arai, you need an
You're right.
Arai.
You gotta have kind of a pumpkin head to have a rye, right? I mean, I don't never put one on. I've been happy. I've had a Neotech. I mean, a Neotech 2, and now I've got an LS2, which I love.
Yeah,
Um, an LS2 Advance, the modular one. It's fabulous. But
and
those helmets don't work for everybody.
no, and like my head, um, I've had really good luck with some of the HJCs. HJC probably has the most diverse lineup of shell shapes
Hmm.
because you know like an Arfa 12 does not fit like one of their CLs. It doesn't like all of them are different. But
Hmm.
Icon, I've had really good luck with Icon over the years. I had a 2X Icon because I got a big head. My
Hmm.
wife wears a medium in a rye,
Hmm. Yeah.
and she
Wow.
couldn't even put that thing on her head. She couldn't get it past her ears.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the shell shape.
Yeah. Right. Ship your
So
head.
that's what, yeah, same thing with helmets, with gear, all of it. Go fit the stuff, feel it out, find what works for you. What are you going to wear comfortably? Like, we can tell
Exactly.
you some reputable brands.
What works for us?
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you, here's the brands to look at. You know, you're looking to do this type of riding or you need this type of gear. You know, you're looking for a mesh. Okay, these companies do mesh. Go try them on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, um, people gripe about dealers, including me. I mean, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. But there's something to be said for walking into a really good motorcycle shop and trying things on.
Yeah.
And yeah, you may pay a few more bucks, but when you walk out the door, it's going to fit. You're not spending $700 on a R3 road crafter, getting it home and saying, "Oh shit, it doesn't fit." Now what?
Well, the good thing too
Hang
is
it up, sell it in March. I mean, that's but so I mean, you're getting that. You may pay a little bit more. And I know I bought the used one, but that's extreme. I mean, you're talking $700 versus $2,300. So
right.
there's that. And I'm not complaining about AeroStitch. Fine product, everything. It's all awesome. And if you want to go up and buy a brand new one, that's the better option every single time. I didn't want to. So there's that. At any rate.
Well, and the trick with the dealers, I will say, is watch their at the end of the year, they'll usually do a
Mm,
sell off,
yeah,
and
get rid of it all.
in the very beginning of the year, anything that's left, they'll put on clearance, and it'll be last year's model. So if you're not, I have to have the latest and greatest paint scheme, and it's because the
Mm,
model of the helmets are the same, or the gear too.
right.
If you don't have to have the latest and greatest paint scheme or colorway, you can get a great deal. Like I've seen $500-$600 lids on sale at these dealerships for $150 because
Right.
they
Just
were the
because they want to get
remaining
rid of
last
them.
year's.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, do that. And then if you got a cycle gear store anywhere near you, they're another great resource. That's part of
Hmm.
Revzilla. You know,
It's all good stuff.
yeah, go
All right,
feel it out.
Rob. So we're coming up on an hour here.
Oh,
So probably it goes fast, right? But I do have one more question for you, if you'd entertain it. Is what are your as you sit here on January, what is it, 25th? And I don't know about you, but I'm freezing
uh
because
huh.
it's like 1 degree outside or whatever. What are your motorcycle goals for the upcoming year?
Well, the honest answer that everybody's gonna laugh at is ride more because last year
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. You got to get more specific than that. Come on.
I want to
Get
hit
a little more specific.
my biggest goal this year is to hit a couple more of MSTA's rallies. I know,
That's a
self-serving. We're
good
the MSTA
goal.
podcast,
It's
but
a good goal. It's a good goal, really. It's
yeah,
a good goal.
I want to get out of. I want to get out of the state more than
Hmm.
just like I.
Smart.
I know. Now it was fun to go out and do the Four Corners thing last year, but I want to get away from the area I'm familiar with, and I want to go someplace new.
That's a great goal. I love that goal.
Yeah.
Because there's places like in the U.S. that I've like always wanted to ride. I've ridden Beartooth Pass and the Chief Joseph Scenic Highway in a car, never on a motorcycle, and that's just like a bucket list thing for me is
Oh yeah.
is to do that. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but it will. If not this year, maybe next year. We'll see what happens. But those are that's a great goal. I love that goal.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
I've had the great luck when I was a much younger and before kids that I traveled a lot by bike, so I got to see a lot of stuff. But my oldest kid is 21. It's been a minute. Like,
yeah, right, exactly. So I think my goal would be at least unfortunately, and I know that I talk about it a lot, and I sort of give the impression that I'm all about this, and I'm not as all about this as what you might think, but I really want I really want to ride the LDX rally well. And what that mean in my mind, what that means is that I'll get a rally packet, and I will plan my ride, and I will plan it within reason. And then for the most part, barring whatever happens that's unforeseen, and there will be over 6 days or whatever, there will absolutely be things that happen that are completely unforeseen. But I would like to ride that rally and ride what I planned and get the points that I thought I would get and not do something stupid and forget something about a bonus and not get the bonus.
like stuff
And
you're
and
having
if
in the
I
cow
can
udders.
and if I can do that, I mean that will be a great thing for me. So I'm looking forward to that. And I too am looking to ride more. I know that the like last year there were days when I felt a little bit lazy because I like would walk into the garage and it was 95 degrees outside and I'm like, there's a motorcycle, there's a jacket, there's a helmet, there's the boots, and there's my air conditioned car. And I'm kind of getting to the age, I'm 62, kind of getting to the age where it's like that car sometimes looks a little bit better than the bike. And I would like to change that mindset a little bit and be more open to jumping on the motorcycle.
I think some of that just comes down to the level of chaos in our daily lives too, because I go through those phases too. I,
Yep.
I normally like
Makes
during the
sense.
riding season, I normally ride quite a bit to work because I have a really fun road that goes from my house straight to my where I work,
Cool. Yeah.
and I think I rode the bike maybe 4 or 5 times last year
Oh,
because the
really?
thought of just getting there and dealing with the gear
I
and
know, I
it's
know.
like
It's kind of crazy, right? You got to put it on, you got to take it off, you got to stow it. I mean, you've got all those things that you have to do.
that's the first time it's
And
ever even been a thought.
right,
Like
right,
normally
right.
the idea that hey, I'm going to ride to
There's
work
no
tomorrow
question.
excites me.
I mean, when I was younger, nothing mattered, man. It
Yeah,
was always I'm taking the motorcycle. The end. What do you mean it's raining? Who cares? It's hot.
yeah.
Who cares? It's cold. Who cares? Taking the motorcycle. That's just how I get around.
Oh, it's
And
95
I've
degrees
noticed
out.
that
I got my
that's
vented jacket.
right, exactly. So anyway,
Yeah, that was last year was really the first time that hit me like that, and it's like I don't know if it was just the chaos of everything going on because we had
yeah, you had a lot going on.
oh yeah the buyout, the whole
Right.
everything,
Your
and it was
job
just
changed, right?
oh I don't know
So
if it really changed. I'm still in the same truck. I'm still the
I
same
know, but
party
I
outfit.
mean, the people changed, the
Yeah.
management changed, all that changed, and it
Oh yeah. It was
can
a
upset your apple cart. So,
it interrupted my feng shui, and I didn't like it.
hmm yeah,
I will say it has not turned out as all that terrible. There's definitely
hmm
some changes that I'm not super happy with, but
hmm
I guess I look at it. If you look at it globally, I'm at least in the same position I was before. So, okay,
not the best you can do, right?
yeah, my
All right,
paychecks are still cashing and the truck is maintained. So I'm all right, cool.
all is good. Yeah, it's all great. All
All
right,
right,
well, Rob, this has been a great time.
it has been fun.
Get to do it again soon, I hope.
That's the plan. We'll have to work on
All
a
right,
schedule, and we'll have to get with RJ and Jerry. And I know they got some stuff, heavy lifting stuff going on right now. So, and we kind of popped this
yeah,
up last minute.
sounds good.
So,
All right,
all right,
well, I will see you soon and stay warm, my friend.
you too. We'll see everybody later. Goodbye.